is a co-op for 2 to 5 players. You all run airlines and need to bring passengers to their destinations. I'll keep this setup simple. The players choose their plane in pieces. You'll want to make sure the entire country can be served. Depending on player count, the board, number of passenger cards, and starting upgrades will be different. Passenger cards will be shuffled and split into morning, afternoon, and evening decks. Use the pre-flight board to see how many cards start face down at the airports. Shuffle the weather deck, which also changes depending on player count, and add the weather tokens to the board. Your starting airport is on the back of the cockpit. Your plane also shows the number of seats you have and your movement speed. Your player route matches your company's logo. You'll be stuck with these until you purchase upgrades, permanent or temporary. Permanent upgrades can add new routes in addition to higher speed and more seats. The temporary upgrades only last for 1 round, but are cheap. Passenger cards are fairly straightforward. Destination is in big red letters, starting airport are in small gray ones at the bottom, and their ticket price is the green number in the bottom right. Once you deliver that passenger, they'll be worth the money on that card. The back of the card also shows the starting airport. Gameplay takes place over 3 stages, each with multiple phases. In the flight phase, you'll flip over the timer once everybody's ready. Before time runs out, players will be moving their plane around, picking up passengers, and moving them to another airport. Your speed is how many spaces you can move that entire stage. Storm tokens add 1 extra space to a route. Tailwinds remove a space from a route. You can pick up whatever passenger you'd like, but you're going to want to focus on angry passengers. How do they get angry? Well, at the start of the flight phase, you'll start the maintenance phase. Place an anger cube on each passenger still waiting at an airport. If a 4th cube is placed on a passenger, the passenger files a complaint. Remove the cubes and set the passenger to the side. If the ending hasn't triggered, I'll talk about this next. Buy upgrades and put out the next group of passengers. Once a passenger deck is empty, move to the next stage deck to restock passengers. Change the weather, then get back to work. The game can end in a few ways. If you have 3 or more passenger complaints at any point, you lose. If you're still in business when the evening phase ends, you have 1 last round to deliver passengers. After the maintenance phase, add 1 passenger card to the complaints for every 2 undelivered passengers. If you have 3 or more passengers in the complaint pile, you lose. If not, you win. Plan as best as you can, move your planes, and keep those passengers happy. That's now boarding. Now boarding can be played in 60 to 90 minutes, including setup and takedown. The real-time gameplay keeps things moving quickly, but it's the talking and planning that takes up most of the time. At low player counts, a coffee table might work, but I guess this will usually be played on your dining table. Although the main board and player areas are fairly small, the component piles and other boards all add up. In other words, don't let the smallish box fool you. There's no real reading past the 3-letter airport codes. An adult or older player can easily help during the pre-flight and upgrade phases. Movement is just simple addition. The tricky parts will be the planning and actual movement during the real-time turns. While I'd say an average 8-year-old could handle the rules, I'd save this for at least 9-year-olds. Everything came together in our 3rd game. Luck was on our side, we made some smart decisions on our own as a team, and we were going to win for sure. Well, we had 1 too many undelivered passengers, causing a 4th to go onto our complaint pile. We lost, but it was still very enjoyable. This is a hard game, but you feel like you have a chance. Maybe a bit of bad luck pops up, but then something works out, or you purchased an upgrade that really helped. I like manageable difficulty. With that said, I'll talk about the VIP variant a bit later. The background art on the board is great to look at, but can be distracting during the actual gameplay. Otherwise, I think the components are really good. I especially like the modular plane upgrades. Depending on your starting route and game state, a new route / upgraded engine / additional state may not be helpful. Rather than being a random upgrade or something decided by the game, you decide what you need. Oh, and the temporary upgrade was such a smart idea. Players don't want to feel like their hard work was wasted, so giving us a way to spend our loose change is nice. I don't recommend the VIP variant. This game has lots of tough decisions that get more difficult as more passengers come out, but never feels impossible. When a VIP can't travel through weather, but 2 usable routes connected to your starting city have weather tokens, it's horrible. In our games with the VIPs, now boarding went from, oh my gosh, I love this, to now boarding was my pick for Best Brain Burner of 2018, but it's more than a puzzle. This is a great co-op game with adjustable difficulty and a fun theme. Many people don't like the pick up and deliver mechanism, move something from here to there, but this might be the game to change their minds. Now Boarding is another hit from Tim Fowers, the designer of some of our favorite games, Paperback, Hardback, and Burgle Brothers.